And spawning in the... Un momento. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the Canadian Zerg player herself, the Blue Zerg, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Scarlett. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have our opponent. We have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss himself. It is JieShi. Here we go. JieShi. As we are going to be settling in. And JieShi, another one of these players that we haven't really seen too much of in recent times. Lancer and JieShi, I would say, are the top 2 players, or at least top 2 Protoss players in China. I'll say top 3 alongside Coffee when it comes to players overall. But again, Kofi has been a little bit less active, Lancer, JieShi as well. Again, a big part of that, I'm sure, is just lack of events, but now that EWC has been confirmed, I'm sure they're all coming back. I'm sure they're all jumping in. Of course, JieShi and Lancer, I believe after this event, they didn't join a new team. It was like JGG Esports or something, which I approve of. Hold on. I need to find the name of their team. JGG, that's it. Not JG. But JDG. JD Gaming, essentially. Which we appreciate. We do approve. Behind the Scarlett going hatch gas pool into an earlier third hatchery. Okay. Earlier third. Now this will impact the queen count early on of Scarlett. As you can see, only 1 queen is being built instead of 2. So it sacrifices 1 queen in favor of a third, or in favor of a faster third base. Likewise, I'm sure to be able to avoid this, did only pull 2 into gas, not 3. So extra mineral income, once again, to be able to squeeze that out. And likewise, to get a faster, or I say quote-unquote faster, second queen. So interesting adjustment here early on. Likewise, now the link speed is done, or is being researched, we pull out of gas. So as a result of this opener, faster third base, faster larva, at least faster than normal. We have our Stargate opener out of JieShi. And JieShi, he is one to mix things up at times. Is more of a standard player more than anything, but there we go. Void Ray opener. It has been a while. Okay, show us what you got. It's going to be a Void Ray opener here out of JieShi. From here, can hunt down overlords, deny vision, deny scouting. And we'll see what exactly we're hiding. As it does threaten the shade. Pulls out. We have confirmation of Void Ray opener into a Twilight Council before third expansion, so hyper aggression here from JieShi. From here, oh, the Overlord comes in with a scout, and the Overlord does confirm the Twilight Council. Yeah, important scout here from Scarlett. Now she knows this is most likely Glaive Adepts. Most likely Glaives. Gateway explosions on the way, going up to 4 gateways before expanding. Now remember, this is not an all-in. There is going to be a third, but this is still very aggressive. Because of this build, the third base is going to be delayed. The blink timing is going to be delayed. A +1 forge is going to be delayed as well, all in favor of Glaive Adepts. Because of this, this needs to trade well. This has to get damage done. We're looking for economic damage. We're looking for just trading well with Lings. As a reminder, Scarlett is more or less aware of what's happening. Back at home, droning up. There we go, safety Roach Warren at almost 420, at 419. Building up roaches. Yes, building up roaches. Likewise, Adepts are amassing back at home for JieShi. We'll soon pull the trigger. Scarlett confirms. Yeah, it does confirm. Technically, this opener, based on what Scarlett scouted, could have been DTs. It could have been a Dark Shrine. Scarlett is now fully aware. You can see Scarlett ready to wall off at the natural. Drone is in position. Roach production has begun. We have a Spine Crawler here at the third base. Queens have a mass as well. Scarlett did cut works at 57 to join up quite heavily. And just as a buy time for those roaches that Epstay will commit to the shade. They're going for the Queen. Drones pull away. Transfuse on the Queen. Queen just barely survive. Tanks 2 volleys. And that's bought enough time for the roaches. Again, we shade towards the natural. Oh, Scarlett barely walls off in time. That was very... Oh no, was close. But the HP is low. And the Epstay going for the wall. They bring it down. JieShi does bust in. Does we have a couple of workers. 6 drones going down so far. 7 drones shades into the main. Oh, and this is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand. This is becoming too much. No. 14 drones going down. 15, 16 workers falling. And at this point, this is critical damage. This is what JieShi was looking for, even more than what he had hoped for. And back at home behind this, we have immortal production. Now, Scarlett has to make a choice. Do we try to recover economically? Do we counterattack? The problem here, there is a lair, but there is no roach speed. So we do have a Hydroden on the way instead. Roaches, they can maybe threaten to move out, but I don't really see these roaches doing much across the map. Not anymore. As it ups, they keep shading in. Oh no. They keep shading into the bases, getting 1, getting 2 more drones. Hey, that's going to be, what, 19 in total, 18 in total. And we are not done. Getting up to 22. 23. Up to 24. 24 drone kills. Ay. And again, initially it was a solid defense. Initially things were going well until JieShi broke down the front door. Until JieShi broke into the bases. Behind this, infestation bits. Scarlett rushing into lurker tech. Rushing into lunkers, into hive tech. All is on the way. From here, we do see as Scarlett's trying to rush in towards lurker tech, we have JieShi rushing into Sky Toss. We have Storm on the way, Fleet Beacon as well into Sky Toss. Honestly, a really solid setup here from JieShi. At this point, he can do whatever he wants. He could just take a 4th base, go into double robo into Colossus, into a ground base push instead. Here, JieShi's being more secure by taking up into Sky Toss instead. This will give Scarlett more time to recover though. Because we're taking up just like Scarlett is, it means that Scarlett is safe, it means that Scarlett is in no danger, and Scarlett can drone up and recover and have a chance at coming back in this game. So it goes down. And it's JieShi getting a 4th, throwing down more site defense. I think I would like this a little bit more if JieShi did have a 2nd Stargate. So the Fleet Beacon is now done. Where's the mothership? Where's the mothership? Where's Tempest production? I mean, JieShi's in the dark. JieShi doesn't fully know what Scott's up to. I mean, did see the Hydrogen, so can assume lurker tech. If that's the case, we should be seeing Tempest production, but for now we have more gates on the way instead. Getting into more gateways. Here comes the mothership. Scarlett is going to be threatening a run by a counterattack. It has to trade out these roaches. Gets a couple of probes. Gets a pylon. Not bad. Again, these roaches do not scale well into the late game. So Scarlett does want to get rid of them. Takes off all these zealots. At the same time, charge also do catch out a queen. As else they respond. And I do think that at this point, I'm not too fond of JieShi's position here. I mentioned before, like, where was the second Stargate? There is still no second Stargate, right? It's like, at this point, now we have carrier production. We could have started Tempest much earlier. And Scarlett is remaxing. Scarlett is remaxing despite losing how many drones? 25 workers at the start of the game, which should be game-winning damage. Scarlett is recovering. Doesn't have the best army against this yet. How many lurkers do we have? 4. Ooh, only 4 lurkers. That's not a lot. So Scarlett's still vulnerable. JieShi moving in. Pushing into the lunker. That's a lot of immortals. And then we'll say break through the lurker line. Storm here on the Hydras as well. And with that, Scarlett's main army does crumble. At the same time, Zealots take down the expansion. But where's the support for this army? Where's the prism? Where are the reinforcements? JieShi, maybe overextending here. Does have 1 storm. Is also trickling in. I mean, thankfully, there are no lurkers waiting for JieShi. Still holding on to the storm. Still holding on. Decent storm of the roaches. Storm goes off. Likewise collapsing on that first Archon. 1 Archon, 1 Immortal goes down. And again, where's the support for this army? Again, JieShi overextends. There's just nothing to support the Immortals. And JieShi, he's in trouble here. Bled out a lot of expensive units. That was 5 Immortals going down. 3 Archons, 4 High Templar. Expensive losses. And Scarlett, she's in control. She's in control of this game. Had a rough start, but JieShi had a lackluster follow-up to that opener. As I mentioned, did a lot of damage, but what did he do with that advantage? Didn't do much. Stuck with a ground army, went into Mass Immortal, that's true, but didn't hit an earlier timing. Did wait for Skytos, kind of. Did wait for a mothership. If JieShi's goal was to commit into Immortal Storm Archon, then I do think there should have been an earlier push. Earlier move outs, regardless. Scarlett does counterattack and knocks down all the zealots. JieShi coming in from behind. But again, this is just buying time. Like Scarlett just trading out roaches, buying more time. Buying time for what? For lurkers. Lurkers are building up. Trying to catch out the army. Going for the mothership. Mothership is sniped. Nice snipe on the mothership. JieShi still stuck on 4 bases. Scarlett on a sold economy. 88 workers. 5 bases. 6 bases even. That is a lot of storms. That is true. But with a high enough lurker count, Scarlett should be okay. It depends on the lurkers, though. We have how many? 4. Still only 4 lurkers. Lurker count is low. JieShi can still pull this off. Getting up to 6, soon to be 7 lurkers. Oh, JieShi overextended with the zealots. We need those storms. Storms so far they zone. High Templar. Oh, they're gonna take a lot of hits. Take a lot of damage. Lurker count getting lower. Down to 3 lurkers. Now is the time. JieShi can move in. Only 3 lurkers. A couple of storms will be enough, but JieShi doesn't see how many lurkers there are. Doesn't know how few there are for Scarlett. JieShi rotating. Heads towards the center expansion. Scarlett trying to keep up. Storm in the mineral line. Ooh, getting a little bit wasteful with his storms. Has to be careful. We get some decent connections. This goes down. Lurker count is getting higher and higher from what once was 3, now to 6. Nidus across the map. Letting Roach run by as well. Oh, Brutal Storm. JieShi should be able to hold on. Nidus into main. Lurkers, they bust into the main. And we're going for a base trade at this point. Main base is going to go down. At the same time, JieShi knocking down the fringe bases. Pushing in. Small Hydra's piling on that as well. The Nidus Storm is going to be sniped. That means there's no way out of this. Ooh, the army's trapped. The army is going to be trapped here in the main. And the base trade continues from here. Oh. Catching out drones. More importantly, catching out some reinforcements, at least attempting to. Scarlett does sneak out a couple of drones. Bottom right is being taken. Is being taken. JieShi rotating over towards that or towards the linear third. No detection? No shot. No detection. The one lurker does force a morphin. Getting free damage. Checking any vision here. Okay, there's an observer. There's one observer now joining the main army. Well, this one lurker will buy time. Back up Nidus. Did have the attempted backup Nidus. There we go. JieShi turns back around. How many lurkers? 6. Six lurkers. It's one fungal. The angle attack is going to be a little bit awkward here. There's plenty of storms. We'll see how JieShi moves in. Storm takes down one lurker, down to 5. 5 lurkers left. Scarlett moving in. Again, show us their storms. Once again, just grazing the army. Ooh, there's Cloak. Fungal reveals at least the Archon, but the storms are brutal. And JieShi can take this fight. GG gets called. JieShi crushes the main army, and JieShi takes game number 1. Whew, GG. A very intense game and a really rough start for Scarlett, which is why I'm impressed. Remember, at the start of the game, Scarlett lost 25 drones. Scarlett was dead. Scarlett was dead at the start of the game, but JieShi had a lackluster follow-up, is what I will say. Either we go for like a committed timing with a ground army, or we be greedy tech-wise and rush into Skytoss. Didn't do either one. It was very middle of the road from JieShi, so that allowed Scarlett to actually re-drone, recover, max out as well. It was still a rough road to recovery, and Scarlett still didn't have the best economy to get into Hydra Lurker Viper. Viper's never researched, and the lurker count never really exceeded 7, I want to say. Like, I think at most we ever had like 7 or 8 lurkers. Like, the lurker count was always very, very low there for Scarlett, just because Scarlett was still trying to recover from there. And in the end, JieShi still barely did take it. But shout out to Scarlett for forcing the base trade and for causing a lot of chaos, and for, again, almost fully recovering from a really rough start. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into game number 2. We're going to be loading into Frostline. Whew, okay. Again, for those that missed the opener, it was a Void Ray opener into Glaive Adepts, and the Glaive Adepts, they popped off. It was crazy. But here we go. We're now getting into our next game. We're getting into game number 2. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Frostline, we have the blue Protoss, or the blue Zerg player, the blue Zerg from the land of Canada, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Scarlett. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have her opponent. We have the Chinese Protoss player, the red Protoss, leading the series 1-0. It is JieShi. Here we go. Again, JieShi having a very strong start in game 1. And we'll see how we adjust here in game number 2 as Scarlett does move out with a hatch block. Let's go. Drone is sent across the map, and the goal here is to throw down the hatchery to block and to delay the expansion. So far, hatchery back at home. So hatch first out of Scarlett, no spawning pool, no gases. Drone does arrive, and Scarlett going for the hatch block as well. So hatch before pool. Again, this is not an aggressive build. This is an economic build. This is designed to delay the economy of JieShi. In that sense, it's economic. There's no rush. There we go. Gas pool now being taken after the 2 initial hatcheries. From there, JieShi, he overreacts. He does overrespond, a bit of a misread. JieShi throws down 2 gateways into Char or into that Zealot. JieShi does not pull the boys. So that means that this hatchery will take even longer. I mean, I should say, because JieShi doesn't pull the boys, that means he needs that second gateway. He needs the second gateway, needs to spend his money in some way. So I would say this is ideal for Scarlett. It's ideal. Now, what's important is that Scarlett now has to survive the counterattack. We have 2 Zealots and soon to be 2 Adepts, so 4 units in total. It can be quite difficult to deal with this, especially without link speed. The answer is Spine Crawler. It is a really extreme response, but very necessary here, especially if Scarlett wants a drone. So Spine Crawler's on the way. Double Zealot, double Adepts making its way across the map. JieShi does threaten, shading into the main. Does threaten the shade. So far, Scarlett is keeping up. Again, Spine Crawler is ready. Lings force a chase. And from here, Scarlett can drone. Scarlett, she's droning, saturating. Is stuck on 2 bases. You can see here, JieShi on patrol, ensuring that Scarlett cannot expand. So drone is zoned away. Scarlett waiting for link speed. Behind this Twilight Council opener out of JieShi. Twilight Council. This could be Glaive Adepts again. I mean, considering how successful Glaive Adepts were last game, it would make sense to do that again. Drone is caught. But here comes link speed. And Scarlett will surround. We'll take down the initial 2 Adepts. The other 2 come in to delay. They do zone. Yep, Glaives once again. I say once again, this is a different build. This is straight up Twilight Council opener as opposed to last game, which was a hidden Glaive build with a Stargate first. So this is more blatant. And there we go with the Overlord Scout. Scarlett does confirm. Behind this, Roach Warren's already on the way. Spine Crawler is going to help. Scarlett still has a bit of time to drone, but will soon have to focus purely on Ling and Roach production. Likewise, yep, getting ready to fully wall off. It's a bit of a haphazard wall, but a wall nonetheless. As I'm moving out, as I move out, Lings, they do hit the 3rd. Ideally getting some damage done. Taking down the pylon. JieShi moving in. JieShi does move in, trading with the roaches. Does cancel the shade. Oh. And so far Scarlett does fully wall off. They can just focus on the adepts. Adepts they commit. Scarlet lair is done. Roach speed is now on the way. And so far, a solid defense here from Scarlet. This time the walls are solid. Oh! This time does wall off, and so far Scarlet, she hasn't lost any drones. So far, much cleaner defense. I say so far just because the game one did look similar to this, and then Adepts broke in anyway. But not this time. Not this time. And the most important thing here, as opposed to game one, is that because of Roach speed, Scarlet can soon counterattack. Roach speed does allow Scarlet to be active on the map. Chasing down the roaches. Roach speed still halfway done. JieShi trying to transition out of this, but this has been a rougher start for JieShi. This time, how many drones went down? One drone did fall. That was the would-be third base worker as well. So this is a rougher start here for our Protoss. We have +1 on the way. We have Charge just now finishing up, getting into Immortal production. But this is a shaky follow-up. As we have a massive gateway explosion. This is looking more and more like a 3-base all-in. I mean, there's only 1 gas at the natural. There are no gases here at the third. Getting up to how many gates? 5. Sorry, 8. So it's going to be a 3-base, 8-gate all-in with mass charge lots. Prism is on the way to reinforce across the map. And JieShi is about to commit. Now, behind this, Scarlet going into Roach Hydra should be okay. It depends on when and where she stops droning. So far is on 3-base saturation, 69 workers. Nice. Hive is on the way, a little bit greedy here, but is now taking up, and I do want to say that Scarlet can get away with this greed. Lurker Den on the way. And here comes JieShi. Ooh, Scarlet did just make a wave of drones. That's a little bit concerning. Drones are not what we want. Scarlet, though, does counterattack roaches. They slip by, they slip in. Yeah, the wall's not a wall. Ooh. Does depower the gateways, going for the Robo as well. And Robo gets depowered, barely no more Immortal production. And JieShi commits. We've been here before, we're going for the base trade. We have roaches in the natural, roaches in the main. At the same time, JieShi does push in towards the third. No lurkers, and minimal roaches to defend. The Hydras are exposed. Thankfully, no storm, no splash damage. The force field is almost working against the Protoss. But looks down the Hydras. Hydras are going down one after the other. Brutal pickups. And JieShi going for the kill, going for the throws, takes down the mineral line, but has to ignore the space, has to keep going. Has to keep going for the kill. At the same time, Roach is still wreaking havoc across the map. 14 probe kills, boys are being pulled. These Zealots are wasting the DPS. They have to move in. And they do arrive. A nice whole position micro here on those drones. The Zealots are doing nothing. The whole position micro, the Zealots, they're derping out. Oh god. Now pushing forward, but nice control there from Scarlet across the map. Depowers almost every single gateway. So no more reinforcements. Meanwhile, drones, they do body block. Boys are being pulled, Zealots are going down, and JieShi's running out of steam. There we go, warping in 3 Zealots at a time. Only 3. Oh my god, the recall gets denied. Yeah, no recall either. Scar just needs a little bit more time. Roaches are still active across the map, still picking up more pylons, more gateways. Still a very clutch hold. Still very intense. Working in 1 Zealot at a time. Let's go. Boys are being pulled. Scarlet down to 3 Hydras, a handful of roaches. Going for the Prism. Up, the Prism does go down. Prism gets sniped. Hydras, they kite back. They barely cut back in time, but without Scarlett is barely holding on as well. And again, if it wasn't for the hold position micro here earlier, or even the minute details here to control towards the end, I mean, that could have been game. That could have been game then and there. Scarlett down to 2 drones. But still has roaches across the map, still has an army. We have 1 gateway powered. JieShi does have bottom right going for a Stargate. Uh-oh. Stargate's on the way. When it comes to the army size here, we have 1 Immortal, 1 Zealot, and 1 Adept. We have 3 units for JieShi. JieShi does have a bank, does have, can make a Void Ray. A Void Ray could end the game, but the Void Ray is being found. The Stargate's being found. And without the Stargate, there is no Void Ray. Without the Void Ray, there's no win. Like, Scarlett's down to, again, 6 drones. Barely an economy. Could not deal with Sky Toss, but yep, there we go. Does deny the Stargate. Everything's flashing red. There are 2 Archons in the main. Oh. If the army comes together, 2 Archons, an Immortal, an Adept, a Zealot, there is potential. Especially with these roaches going down. Uh-oh. Roaches have to get the hell out of here. The army is consolidating, everything coming together. Roach getting caught out. Okay, 8 roaches. And both roaches, they barely survive. So we have 8 roaches. I think JieShi wins this head on. Especially with how low HP some of these roaches are. So, you know, JieShi does spot the army. Oh! Scarlett looking for a way in. JieShi has mining as well. Scarlett's getting up to 1 base economy and joining up that much faster. Oh, 1 Zealot goes down. Massive big up. Gets 1 Zealot. Every unit counts. Every unit does count. Which is they, oh, they threaten a dive. Brutal force fields. Catching out 1, 2, 3 roaches. 3 roaches go down. Ay, ay, ay. How many roaches are left? 5. 5 roaches remaining. JieShi doesn't know this. Oh, this is risky. JieShi splitting off his army. He's looking for the base. He doesn't know. He doesn't know where the hatchery is. He doesn't know what base has been taken. Another roach goes down. JieShi does find a couple of drones. There's mining in the main. And JieShi is going for the main base. With a Zealot with an Archon. Scarlett racing back home. 7 Hydras in production. And that's every turn going down here. But JieShi doesn't know. He doesn't know there's another full mining base. Oh, Hydra gets 1. Hydra goes down. I feel like JieShi should be active with the entire army just because he has a recall. And there we go. Now he moves out. I'm sure JieShi was worried for a counterattack. She was worried about a run by. Another Hydra falls. Down to 7. I mean, still a hefty army. Ooh, Scarlett sees her target. She does see a lone Archon and a sentry. Scarlett moving in. Do we go for the recall? Uh-oh. No shield battery either. It's not powered. Scarlett waddling in. Yeah, there's no recall. Recall's a little bit too late. Archon goes down. Massive pickup. Takes down the Archon. Scarlett on 1 base. Takes down the Zealots. Still very tense. So do slow things down. When it comes to tech, now there's no Temple Archives, no way to reinforce with more High Templar. It's only Zealots. Only Zealots at this point here. For JieShi. I mean, Zealots and Sentries. Stalkers, I suppose, as well. There's no Blink. Again, JieShi doesn't know. JieShi still has not seen bottom right. Breaking out onto the map. Scarlett dragged back into her main. But Scarlett, there we go. GG gets caught. JieShi sees the full mining base, sees all the Hydras, and Scarlett will tie things up 1-1. Whew, GG. Aye, aye, aye. GG, well played. A very, very intense game. It came down to the wire there. There were definitely moments for JieShi. The biggest thing though, JieShi did not see that base towards the bottom right until the very end. If it was seen earlier, then JieShi could have denied mining. At some point, it could have denied mining, could have been more active, could have been more aggressive there, but alas, it went by undetected, unscouted, got fully up and running, and that allowed Scarlett to be able to afford Hydras, to be able to afford an army, to be able to afford something. GG. Whew, GG, well played. With that, the series gets tied up 1-1. We are going into game number 3. Going into game 3, and we'll see how this story ends. Or I guess we'll see who takes the lead in the series as we are jumping into Ultra Love. Let's go. Oh my god. Let's go. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the Canadian Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Scarlett. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have her opponent. We have the Chinese Protoss player, the Red Protoss, being forced into a tied series. We'll see if he can bring it back. It is JieShi. There we go. Was best of 5? Yes, best of 5. Best of 5 series. We can go the distance, back the distance. Oh, hello, Aeronautic. Hello. ¿Qué tal? Bienvenidos. Whew. Ay. As we're calming down, we're settling in. Again, both game 1 and game 2, JieShi did rely upon Glaive Adepts in some way, shape, or form. I would say in game number 2, the Glaive Adepts, they weren't really worth it. If you recall, Scarlett had a very strong defense against said Glaive Adepts. And then things turned out and ended up in a base trade. Things got very chaotic. But we'll see where our game leads us this time. As do we continue to rely on Glaives, or do we take a different approach? So far, Gate expanded to Cyber Core, standard opener out of our Protoss player, out of JieShi. Scarlett likewise, hatch gas pool. This time, no hatch block. This time, there's no block. This time, no shenanigans. So just stretching, embracing the series. Let's go. Now Cybercore is finishing up, and we'll see what tech choice JieShi does decide to go for. Again, game 1 was Stargate opener into Glaives. Game 2 was a straight up Twilight Council into Glaives. Game 3, Stargate once again. Now, previously in this series, if you missed out on game 1, it was a Void Ray opener. It was Void Rays to hunt down the Overlords and then to hide the Twilight Council follow-up. We could go Void Ray once again, or we could go for a standard opener into an Oracle. Keep an eye on JieShi. I do like the idea of going Void Ray just for mind games, even if it isn't for Glaives, even if it's just Void Ray into Oracle into a third base. Just because of how the series has played out, I do think it would be a good way to try to, again, get into the head of Scarlett. But we'll see how JieShi will approach this. Meanwhile, Scarlett, being very active when it comes to scouting, does go in, does confirm the Stargate initially. Scarlett droning, saturating, looking solid. And we'll see what comes out first. As it is the Oracle, okay. And Scarlett does confirm. It is going to be the Oracle opener, so everything's looking normal, everything's looking standard. This time there's no hidden tech, this time no hidden structure. This time Oracle into a third, or triple Oracle into a third base, into most likely Blink Stalker. For the first time this series, JieShi is playing standard. And I'm sure Scarlett can breathe a sigh of relief. Be like, whew, okay, we can we can play some StarCraft. Let's go. We can play some StarCraft. Now, as we load into Ultra Love, we can talk about the map a little bit as well. Ultra Love has a short rushes to spike ground. It is not uncommon to see German taxis, Roach all-ins, Ling Queen all-ins, Queen walks across the map. We have seen a lot of aggression in the past. Twilight Council is going to be thrown down. This is a bit of an earlier Twilight Council. I don't see a Forge yet. The longer this goes on without a Forge, the higher chances is of a Glaive Adepts. Yep, gateways being thrown down. This does feel like Glaives. Now, because there is no Void Ray, there's a higher chance that Scarlett can still come across this. Oracle pokes in, Oracle is zoned back. Overlord somewhat in position, sees gateways, but doesn't see the tech yet. And show us charge, not Glaive Adepts, charge instead. Okay, you have my attention. No gases here at the natural. With this going for what looks to be a charge all in, we'll see how many gateways get thrown down. So far we're getting up to 4 gates, but we can, I would imagine, go up to 6, potentially even up to 8. But this is gonna hit quite hard, quite fast, and ideally catching Scarlett unawares. Meanwhile, across the map, we do have a Roach Warren. So safety Roach Warren out of Scarlett. So thankfully, safety Roach Warren. Thankfully, Scarlett is not going Ling Hydra. If Scarlett were to skip Roaches and to skip Banelings, then this would be a very tough hold. But we're still keeping an eye out for the gateways. Still only 4. So only 4 gateways. Saturation underway. Forge gets thrown down. The lack of Forge did to me feel like an all-in, but now that there's a Forge on the way, now we're working towards upgrades. Now we're working towards a later timing instead. Interesting. Because of the Forge, it feels like we're going to go for the early charge timing into Archons, into Storm, into a longer game state. I don't think this is intended to kill, but intended to main. As a charge is done, Zelsa rush across the map. Roach production underway. Roaches are not ready yet. Yeah, the Roaches are not ready. Zelsa do hit the mineral line. They hit the third. Oh! Coming in for a surround. 1 Queen goes down. Does get 1. Gets a 2nd Queen. Nice sacrifice of the Oracle, but that's going to be 3 Queens falling. Nice damage here from those charges from JieShi. Takes down 3 Queens. Takes down 3 workers. Rallies everything across the map. Bleeds out a sentry. And Scarlett will hold. Will defend. I will force this back. At a cost though. 4 drones fall, 3 queens. And remember, as you mentioned, because of the Forge, because of the follow-up, this was not necessarily an all-in, but did do a decent amount of damage. From here, Immortals, massive gateway explosion. Temple Archives for Archons for Storm. So JieShi working on that next step. It's working on that next step. Scarlett, 6 Overlords are in production. Massive supply block. Getting a 4th expansion, resaturating the 3rd. But now getting to Roach Ravager. No other tech, just Roach Ravager. As this I was not expecting. Not just going into charge and Archons, and Storm, which makes sense. We're rushing to a fleet beacon. Okay, this is a little bit greedy. This is gonna be getting ready for a longer kind of game state. For the time being, this just looks like a mothership. To rush into a faster mothership to support the army. But this also means that JieShi is not pushing anytime soon. JieShi is being more defensive. So JieShi is hurtling up. Meanwhile, do you see what I see? Scarlett not droning. Scarlett's not droning up. Cutting workers at 66. Roach Ravager pushing in towards the 3rd base. Roach Ravager pushing in towards the 4th as well. And as we're being greedy, as JieShi's getting to Storm, into carrier production, into a fleet beacon, into everything else, here come the Roaches. They're going for the kill. They're going for the bases. And JieShi getting caught with his pants down. Storm is not done. Roaches, they get into the middle line. Probes are falling. Late reaction there out of JieShi. Yeah, late reaction. Late response. Roaches, once again, they do hit the right hand side. 15 probes do go down. Scarlett just pulling JieShi apart. And it wasn't for the mothership, it was for carrier, which is crazy. Making one carrier at a time. And again, this is all quite greedy here from JieShi and is being punished for it. As Roaches, they strike the fourth base once again. JieShi just doesn't have the supply to defend both locations at once. Just doesn't have the supply. As the fourth is gonna go down. And even this third base is barely operational. And now Scarlett's droning. Now Scarlett's droning up. Scarlett did not see the fleet beacon, but we have a Spire on the way regardless. From here, can go into Muta play. Or prepare for the worst. Scarlett rotating over. Carrier is revealed. Now Scarlett knows to invest into Corruptors. And the wall's open. Oh god, the wall is wide open! No! Roaches, they get into the main, they get into the natural as well. At the same time, main army report towards the third. JieShi does defend against the main army, but what about the economy? What about the probes? What about the main? And we have 15 mutas on the way. Because the carrier count is so low, and Scarlett confirms there's only one Stargate producing anything, the mutas are enough. Mutas, they're more than good enough here to deal with a single carrier. They also shoot down. It's crazy. High Templar gets targeted. Roaches are being cleaned up. But JieShi down to 49 probes. And here come the mutas. Los pantalones, papi. Ah, true. When did this tournament take place? It took place like a week ago? Like 2 weeks ago? What do you mean? As mutas, they do hit the mineral line. Hit the mineral line, catching up more probes. Some boys being pulled away. And Scarlett's will overwhelm. Getting into the bases. Yeah, GG gets called. JieShi gets torn apart. And Scarlett will take game number 3, taking a lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Does take a lead. And we'll see if Scarlett can claim the series here. As a reminder, best of 5. Best of 5. Again, JieShi didn't have the worst start going into charge and getting across the map. Was able to, remember, kill 3 queens, 4 drones, trade with the army. It wasn't too bad, but was maybe a little bit too greedy in the follow-up. It wasn't just taking up into Immortals and Storm and Archons. That's fine and +1, but rushing into carrier production did feel very ambitious, especially on a smaller map like Ultralove. We spoke about this at the start of the game, how Ultralove is known for being a smaller map, known for having a shorter rush distance, so aggression can be favored here, and it takes so little time for Roaches to move from one side to the other. So JieShi just being a little bit too greedy. With that, GG, well played. With that, Scarlett takes the lead, and now we're jumping into our next game, jumping into Amygdala. Let's go. Here we go. As spawning in the top right hand corner here of Amygdala, we have the blue Zerga player leading the series 2-1 from Atlantic, Canada, representing Shopify Rebellion. 1 game away from claiming the series and advancing on to the grand finals. It is Scarlett. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have her opponent. We have the Chinese Protoss player, the red Protoss. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is JieShi. Now again, I'm at least hoping for an ace match. I'm hoping to get the most out of our 2 players here, but the pressure is on JieShi. I would say in general, when it comes to his openers, when it comes to his builds of choices, has had quite a bit of success. Despite that though, we have seen Scarlett recovering, bouncing back, and punishing at times as well. But now we're loading into a larger map. We go from one of the smaller maps in the map pool to one of the larger maps instead. Welcome to Amygdala. Amygdala rush distance by ground is very long. So much longer rush distance by ground. Likewise, attack paths are quite limited on Amygdala as well. So it is more difficult to be aggressive, more difficult to be assertive here on the map, especially early on. So if there were to be a map where JieShi would open up and be more defensive and tech up into Sky Toss and get to the late game, this would be the map for it. this would be it. So we'll see if JieShi can get there. I mean, before we talk about the late game, I mean, JieShi has been hyper aggressive every game so far. We've either seen early glaive adepts or we have seen early charge as well. We saw that on Ultra Love. So we have seen these earlier tech switches and earlier tech choices every game in the series. We'll see if that continues. Because of how the series has progressed, I can't imagine Scarlett will ever skip the Roach Warren. So because of that, because we've seen so much aggression, safe play is most likely going to be occurring, and that's going to make it more difficult here for JieShi to get any damage. It's going to make it difficult. From here we have our tech of choice, going to be a Stargate opener out of JieShi. It does open Stargate. And we'll see if we open up Void Ray, we open up Oracle. If we go for an earlier Twilight Council, which I'm leaning towards to most likely be the case. As we have yet to see plus one Blink Stalkers out of JieShi, just hasn't happened this series. Oh, and there it is, a Void Ray first. So a Void Ray opener out of our Protoss player. The purpose and the goal of the Void Ray is to hunt down the Overlords. Hunt down Overlords and to keep Scarlett in the dark. From here, there are possibilities here. You can go into Glaive Adepts, you can go into double Stargate, Void Ray, double Stargate, into Tempest Rush, into Carrier Rush. You can go into a Charge Base all-in, or you can even go for a standard game. Into Oracle, into a third, into +1 and Blink Stalker. Like there's, oh god, we're going early. Early Twilight Council, this screams Glaive Adepts. Void Ray, oh no! The Void Ray does overshoot and the Overlord is slipping in. And does the Overlord scout? Scarlett, up, not quite. Whew, does not get the scout off. Scarlett is in the dark, is aware of the Void Ray, but that's all she's aware of. We'll delay the third. Now, I say this screams Glaive Adepts. We have seen JieShi go into charge. We have seen him go into charge as follow-up. Again, that happened on Ultra Love. Eyes are on the Twilight Council. There is Glaives are on the way. So early Glaives here from JieShi. Now, as I mentioned before, because how this series has played out, Scarlett should not be skipping the Roach Warren. We should be seeing one momentarily. As the third base is spotted. Early Eva Chamber. This feels like +1 melee. If it's melee, there's a lower chance it's going to be roaches. There we go. Thankfully, safety Baneling Nest. Whew, okay. Now, this is a little bit more tricky to defend with. As you can imagine, Banelings are going to be quite slow. Baneling Speed is not going to be done in time for the Glaive Adepts. Baneling Speed is a later upgrade, especially requiring Lair, of course, and there is no Lair. So the slow Banes have to keep up with the Shades. It can be difficult, it can be risky, but it is possible. Scarlett likewise needs forewarning to morph in Banelings as well. But does have the ability to defend. As Adepts are moving out, they're amassing as we speak. There we go, Scarlett getting safety Banelings. Did not confirm the Adepts, did not see the army coming, not yet, but is playing it safe nonetheless. There's going to be 5 Banelings. That's moving in. Scarlett does spot the army, is aware we need a wall. The Banelings, oh, they're waddling in. Banelings are waddling in, Scarlett with a mess around. And massive connections, brutal connections here as Scarlett does catch out the army. Everything is going to go down. They take shade into the base, but Lings are here to shut them down. And Scarlett does break out. Cleans up the army, there's nothing left. Ay, ay, ay. JieShi caught with his pants down out in the open. And now there are 4 deaths remaining. Shield batteries are on the way. Again, the Glaive Adepts were not good enough. And from here we can Bane Bust. From here we can Bane Bust. Scarlett backing off, droning. Scarlett droning up instead, going for the Lair. Going for a longer game state. Doesn't risk it. Which I appreciate. There are sentries, there are force fields. It is difficult for Ling Bane to get some good surface area on this army, considering the Sim City. So Scarlett backs off. Wants none of it. and double expands. 4th base, 5th base, knocking down the gold as well. And from here, can go into Lingbane Hydra. Would you have a safety Roach Warren on the way, though? There's that Roach Warren. I mean, considering that she knows she's up against Glaive Adepts, Roaches, they can be quite useful here. They can tank. Behind this, Bay is on the way, working towards Colossus, +1. But everything's late. Like, the problem here for JieShi is that because of the commitment into Mass Glaive Adept, this means the Robo is late, the +1 Forge is late, the Bay is late, everything else is delayed in favor of the Adepts, and they didn't pay for themselves. It just wasn't worth it. So because of that, JieShi, he has fallen behind. He's fallen behind. Scarlett still being active with his Lings. Behind this, not going into Hydras, going into Lingbane Roach Ravager. Likewise, getting another expansion, going for the gold. Getting up to 6 bases. Scarlett does knock down those rocks. Rocks are being knocked down. Disruptors are now on the way. But again, there's nothing pressuring Scarlett to actually break the defensive line here of JieShi. Oh, except for the gold. I mean, the gold would be a way to recover, true. Scarlett is maxing out. And Scarlett is choosing not to take up. Choosing not to take up into Hydras, into Infestation Pits, into Lurkers. Oh, sorry, there we go. Infestation Pit now on the way. Now getting ready for Hive Tech. But Scarlett is maxing. And here come the Banelings. Here come the Roaches, the Ravagers, everything else. Up! Wow, they shut the Void Ray. Void Ray goes down. That should not have happened. JieShi, not quite paying attention. Caught off guard. And what do we have to defend? No Storm. No Storm. 1 Disruptor. 2nd Disruptor's on the way. Lings, they confirm the gold. There he goes up. Ooh, decent connection. It does go up. Scarlett pushing into the 3rd. Lings, they come in towards the top side. Distracting JieShi. And again, these are efficient trades for the Protoss player, but Scarlett wants to trade. There we go, Lings, they once again flood in. They're going for the Nexus. A Disruptor getting caught out. Oh my god, the Biles connect. And again, Scarlett trading with the army. Lings, they will not get the expansion, barely not. But another Archon goes down, another 2 Archons fall. And Scarlett behind us, 81 workers. 81 workers can remax, rebuild, 50 more Roaches on the way. JieShi does barely hold on. JieShi does survive the first wave, but now getting ready for wave number 2. And again, look at the losses here. 2 Disruptors, 2 Archons. Did take down 86 Lings, but again, Scarlett can afford these trades. Oh, the Biles, they knock down the expansion. Nexus falls. Scarlett opening up the map. And JieShi needs time to build up. Storm is now being researched. Getting up to 2 Colossus, but the army is barely here. Back at home, Hive is complete. From here, Scarlett can tech up into Vipers. Likewise, gets eyes on the would-be 4th. Will force a cancel, gets a kill. That's a cool number cancel. Lings, they flood in, the wall is wide open. The wall is open, forcing a recall as well. Lings, they flood into the bases, and again, JieShi just being torn apart. Roaches, they collapse on the army, they take down the Archon, they get into the Colossus, oh no! Yeah, no control here, JieShi focusing elsewhere, focusing in his defense and his main, and he'll lose everything. GG gets called, and Scarlett will claim the series 3-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. It was a bold move for Scarlett to play Ling Bane, very bold move, but was proactive, was very proactive, was able to catch out all the adepts. It was crazy to see Scarlett catch the adepts out in the open and get the surround and shut them down with those banelings. From that moment, JieShi fell behind. JieShi, he was in a rough position. He had to try to recover, either be hyper greedy or go for an all-in. I do think that the gold base is a good way to recover in this game, to catch back up and to make up for a deficit, but as we saw, JieShi never got the gold base up and running. Never got it saturated. The gold base was sniped by the Lings, by the Ravagers as well, and without the gold base, there was no chance of JieShi recovering in that game. GG. GG, well played with that. Scarlett does claim the series, and we are getting ready for our grand finals here as we switch our scenes over and catch up on the bracket. Here we go. We are going to be catching up, and from the top we have Scarlett. Scarlett takes down JieShi 3-1, does advance on to the finals. Gumiho takes down Lancer 3-2, went all the way to the ace match. It was an intense back and forth between Gumiho and Lancer, and that leads us into the grand finals. It's going to be a best of 7, not a best of 5, between Scarlett and Gumiho. Let's go. Let's go. Now, to get ready for that, we're going to be going on a short break. Here, we do need some time to prepare for said finals, for said best of 7. So take this time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain your disruptors, massage your marines, and get ready for those finals, for that ZvT between Gumiho and Scarlett. See you soon. See you soon after the break.